Was there a piece of the puzzle that I was missing this whole time? What's up, friends? Today we're checking out the 6th ending song to the series Chainsaw Man, Daino Teki na Rendezvous by Kanaria. We'll be looking at the song from the perspective of a producer and songwriter, so expect a lot of pauses to go over the development of the song and the specific techniques that they're using. Just going over that very opening portion because it's pretty interesting what they're doing here. That kind of building sound they have at the beginning is a reversed reverbed vocal. So what they did is they recorded a vocal doing a scream or singing a specific note, added a ton of reverb onto that vocal, and then reversed it. And that creates that cool building effect that feels like we're coming into something, feels like we're being sucked into something. And then we have this very fuzzy, signy, harsh sounding synth, which is very distinct from the more rounded sounds, not fuzzy sounds that we normally hear in a Kanaria piece of music. Bassline is sick, just going right along with the groove that synth is laying down, but hitting interesting notes on the way. It's a bass guitar, it's not a bass synth sound, which is interesting because it adds this kind of like nice pairing, keeps that kind of rock element in the song. We're hearing drums that are very familiar for anyone who listens to Kanaria. Those snares are very high-end, heavy, really slapping in a nice way, going right along with the rhythm. Kind of everything is in sync right here. Have you subscribed yet? Why not? Come on, just do it. It's fun. I really like the visuals. Just wanted to point them out real quick. We have this kind of Escher scenery, which is almost definitely the inspiration for this episode and the episode prior of being stuck on the 8th floor. This continual loop of being in the same place over and over again. Very clean sounding vocal. I like the processing being used. It's cool to finally hear Kanaria's vocal in a song. They normally use other vocalists and have them feature on the songs. I like the harmonies that they're setting up. They're incredibly clean. They sound like they're going through a vocoder, but I think they are doing it live. Also, it sounds like this song is in F-sharp Phrygian, which is an interesting mode to use. It's cool because it kind of sets one off balance a little bit because we're starting on a median chord. It's great that they're using the modal key to reflect the feelings we've got throughout this episode because everything just kind of feels off balance and like things are twisted around and not quite right in the 6th episode of Chainsaw Man. It sounds like with the vocal, they're putting it through a vocal transformer and messing not with the pitch, but with the formant. And that's creating that almost chipmunk-like sound to the vocal. Very like nasally sounding, very specific vibe they're going for there. And that's due to shifting the formant, which is basically shifting which EQ ranges of a vocal get emphasized. Here we're hearing a more rounded sounding synth pairing with the vocal. Initially when the vocals came in, we took away that synth and just had the bass guitar going with the drums. Now we're bringing the synth back in, but it's not as harsh a sounding synth. So that way it doesn't draw away attention from the vocal. It's not sitting in that same high end that the vocal frequencies are occupying. It's also taking more of a chordal identity. It's not taking that kind of lead identity in terms of synth usage. I think the spaces in between are really what make this rhythm so special. That da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Like that break right there when we're expecting to have things keep going really draws us in a nice way. I'm really liking the visuals on this one. I like the spinniness. I like the red on the black and white. It's creating this very eerie vibe, this very tense vibe, which is what we felt throughout the whole episode. Nice synth solo at the end, kind of getting that same riff that we were familiar with at the beginning. Bit of a bookend of a song. We start with a synth riff, go into a vocal, it develops, has a synth join it, does a little chorus thing, and then we go back to that primary riff we heard at the beginning. Interesting that we hear a guitar chord at the end. That guitar was low enough in the mix and it was covered up enough by the synth that it wasn't really detectable throughout the rest of the song. So it kind of catches our attention at the end. You know, we have this guitar come in, do the final chord, and we think, oh my goodness, was there a guitar there the whole time? Like, was there a piece of the puzzle that I was missing this whole time? Yeah, I'm noticing a tendency with all of these Chainsaw Man endings, and that is that the less violent the episode is, the less violent the music is. This is one of the more chill songs in comparison to the rest of the ending songs. It's still upbeat, it's still fun, but it's not as crazy as like ending 3 or even ending 4 or 1. Still like it though. I think Kanaria is very skilled. They have some great melodies that they're coming up with here. I'm excited for the official full version to come out. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Hope it's given you greater perspective on the song and how the music of the song interplays with the series, giving you some cool insight maybe. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, would love it if you checked out my own music. My latest album, Bashing My Head Through Walls, right here. I've also got other Chainsaw Man reactions. I've been doing every single song from Chainsaw Man that's right here. That's it. Catch you on the flip.
We are trapped in electronic webs. We have built them for ourselves. We will perish.